On this edition of the Slow Breaks Locks of the Week, we're tackling college football over the next couple days. And joining us this week, we have our longtime friend, Grant DeLozier. Welcome to the podcast, Grant.
Nice to be here, boys. I'm honored to be the first guest on the pod.
Tony, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. Ready to get some picks in.
All righty. So we're going to do 5 big bowl games on January 1st and January 2nd. So the first game on January 1st that we want to do is the Peach Bowl. So we got Georgia and Cincinnati. What do you got for me, Grant?
So I bet on Cincinnati a lot this year. Won a lot of money on Cincinnati this year. So my heart is with Cincinnati. JT Daniels has looked great lately, though. So my brain kind of wants to go Georgia. Being torn, I ended up going with the value play, Cincinnati money line plus 195 here.
I like it, but I don't think the Cincinnati team has proven themselves to beat a Power 5. I know there's some opinions out there thinking otherwise, but I think Georgia, being in the SEC, playing a lot better competition, can cover at -6.5. And I really do like JT Daniels. He's been heating up past couple of weeks. I think he'll continue.
I think this is going to be very similar to 3 seasons ago where UCF went to the Peach Bowl and they took down Auburn. So I'm right there with you, Grant. I'm going Cincinnati plus 6.5 against the Georgia Bulldogs. So later in the afternoon, we got the Rose Bowl. We got Notre Dame and Alabama. What do you got, Grant?
So I hate Notre Dame, hate Ian Book, but I will take Notre Dame plus 19.5 in this game because that is a lot of points. I think they're a solid team overall. I also like the over 65.5. Alabama's gotten close to scoring that themselves like 5 different games this year. So, I think Notre Dame can put some points on the board as well. So
I also like Notre Dame plus 19.5. I really think their defense is solid this year. I don't think that they are going to be their usual selves that they are when they get into a big game. But to point that out, I do like the under in this game because of that defense. And also, I don't think Alabama's defense is going to be as bad as it was last week or a couple weeks ago against Florida. I think they can turn that around and actually make this a competitive game.
I disagree, Tony. I think that this is going to be a blowout in favor of Alabama, so I'm taking them minus 19.5. All right, and then the last game on January 1st that we want to cover, the Sugar Bowl. We got Ohio State and Clemson. What do you got?
I love Clemson here -7. I do not think Justin Fields has been good at all this year. Ohio State's only played 6 games. They're a bit rusty, or maybe 7 now that they played in the championship game. And then their defense just isn't great, and you got Trevor Lawrence back there. I think this could get ugly.
Yeah, I agree, but I'm going to take the over in this game at 66.5. I think Clemson can really score it, but I also think Dabo throwing out a lot of hate towards Ohio State, and a lot of other people can really get them fired up, score a lot of points. But I do think Ohio State does deserve to be there. They're 7-0, but they are very inconsistent, I think, due to those weeks off. But I really think they can pick it up, put things together this week, and have everybody back healthy that they can really give Clemson a run for their money.
Yeah, I like the over in this game, and I also like Ohio State plus 7.5. I think this is going to be a close game, very similar to last year. I don't think this is going to be any more than a 3 or 4 point game. So moving to the next day, January 2nd, we got 2 games that we want to cover. First, we got the Fiesta Bowl. We got Oregon and Iowa State. What do you got?
This is the lock of the 5 for me. I like Iowa State -4. I don't think Oregon's very good. They shouldn't have even made the Pac-12 championship game. If it wasn't for COVID, they wouldn't have. I didn't love Iowa State either. They do have a Pittsburgh guy as a head coach, though, so blue collar. I just think this is the lock. I think they're going to blow out Oregon in this one.
I agree. I like Iowa State, but I don't think that Oregon can keep up. But also, Iowa State does play in a conference that typically doesn't have any defense. So I could see the over here hitting, typically with Pac-12 scoring a lot of points, Iowa State in a conference scoring a lot of points, not a lot of defense played here.
I think it's unanimous across the board. I like Iowa State -4.5, and you guys hit basically every point that I wanted to hit as well. So the last game that we want to touch on, we got the Orange Bowl. We got Texas A&M and North Carolina. What do you got for me, Grant?
So this is another one like the Cincy-Georgia game I was a bit torn on. Again, I went the value play, North Carolina money line. They have 2 stud running backs, stud quarterback. They don't play much defense, but I'm going to take their offense. I'm not a big Kellen Mond fan. I know a lot of people like him, but we're going to go with the value play plus 235 with North Carolina in this one.
This one's also probably one of the tougher ones for me, just because Texas A&M I think is a very good team, and I think North Carolina has shown that they can be bad at times. So I don't think the 7.5 is enough to get me to pick that. If you can buy it down, I definitely think that's a good pick. But I'm going to go with the over here in this game. Both teams can score a ton of points. North Carolina has shown that, and Texas A&M I really think is out for blood with this game, not getting into the top 4.
Yeah, last year in their bowl game against Temple, North Carolina really ran up the score on them and looked real good. So I like the over for this game, but I think it's going to be a close game. So I like North Carolina to cover plus 7.5. So anything else you guys want to add in for the bowl games, other locks? Do you guys have an absolute lock of the week for us?
So I have a money line parlay on the NBA tonight. I don't remember what it is, but it's a lock. Other than that, I don't know.
Oh man, Tony, how about you?
Nah, I really like the game tonight, Florida game. I do expect Florida to come out a little flat, though. They're missing some key players, so it'll be interesting to see what they can do. I know they suffered a tough one to Alabama, but I don't think they are that team or will be that team come tonight.
Yeah, with those receivers sitting out, I'd be leaning more towards Oklahoma.
No Kyle Pitts. Gotta take Oklahoma.
Yeah, I agree.
Money line parlay tonight. Brooklyn Nets over the Hawks. Boston Celtics over the Grizzlies. Plus 112 odds. We love it.
Grant, that's why you got brought on for the slow breaks locks of the week. I like that, friend.
Yes, sir.
That does it for this week's edition of the Slow Breaks Locks of the Week. Check back in after the new year for some more moneyline parlays, more teasers, anything else you need for your gambling fix. Happy New Year, everyone.